Welcome, everybody, to Pop Culture Parenting, the podcast where we, as Black fathers, talk about the media that raised us and how we plan to pass it on to our children. My name is Mark Jones, aka Clyde.
And I am Niels R.Y.
And this is our first episode, and what we're going to do here is just give you guys a short little, briefing summary of what you're in store when you listen to Pop Culture Parenting and why we're doing this. So, Nels, you're going to be our historian and our fact checker. So why don't you give the people a little bit of what they're in store for?
You low-key said I was the smart guy. Is that what you're saying? I'm just going to be like, yeah, I am the smart guy.
What was his name? Timothy?
He's a smart guy. That one?
What was his name? AJ?
I have no idea what his name is.
I'm fucking it up.
But we're reviewing Smart Guy. I would know all that stuff.
We would know.
So yeah, I'm the one thing I'm excited about this is to just go back in time and think and talk about a lot of the stuff that helped shape us and mold us into the people that we are. I'm excited to just really get into the nitty gritty of man, why were we obsessed with this show? Number one. And two, why didn't we tell anybody about it? A lot of the stuff that we grew up in, especially if you a millennial, you grew up in the 90s, a lot of the nerd stuff, a lot of the Dragon Ball Zs, a lot of the Power Rangers, some stuff was cool, and a lot of stuff was you can't really talk about it.
You don't talk about it. And we played football.
Yes. And so we were football players.
You don't talk about it.
We couldn't talk about how we were upset because we were missing Dragon Ball Z episodes because we were at football practice.
We couldn't talk about how practice was going long and fucking Toonami was on, and if we didn't get home in time, we were going to miss Gohan beat Cell's ass. We had no one to tell.
I was man, I just remember it was man, I'm missing the Cooler movie right now.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%, man. I think growing up, just I consumed everything, movies, cartoons. You were more comics than me,
yeah.
but just video games. And growing up back then, black and dealing with pop culture, it was you had to be choosy. Like you said, there's some things that you had to enjoy in silence.
Yep.
Because if you told your friends you liked it, you'd get wrecked. And they would be like, what kind of whack-ass shit are you into?
Anything outside of the Chicago Bulls or hip-hop was dangerous waters.
Yeah.
You couldn't really train well. It all depended on who you were rolling with.
You got The Simpsons, but just because they came on the same day Martin came on.
Facts. Where's the lie? Yeah, big fact.
So, but no, I'm really, and with the way cartoons and media is, man, it's just so diverse now. There's so much representation. I think it's great that kids can pick up a comic, or tune into anything, and they could see someone that looks like them. Some people aren't so happy about the way fuck them, but this
is not for them, or it could be for them if they can stop being haters.
Yeah. I just think it's amazing that Hollywood is now taking, and I say Hollywood, I just mean all pop culture. It's taking a lot of chances, and in some way we've gone backwards, and in some ways nothing has changed. But I think that's what we're going to talk about on this podcast. And now that we have kids, one thing, I forgot where I heard this. Someone did a video essay and they said the one thing that parents don't seem to care about that their kids digest is their entertainment and media. You care about what food your kid has. You care about where they're playing, what they're wearing. No one gives a shit about what their kids watch, as long as it's not violent. And when I say no one gives a shit, is you could give your kids Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, or some Teletubbies shit, or some McDonald's tie-in toy DVD, and no one cares. They're play it for the kids. I don't care. It's all the same. And I think that we understand that there's a clear difference between Pixar and the Minions.
Yes.
There's quality there, and I think it's important that your kids, some things are just fluff and fun, but then there's quality, and then there's just entertainment, and I think that's what we're also going to talk about on this podcast.
So Mark and I were both latch-key kids, which means a big part of who raised us. We had parents, but we also had the television. And the television had a big hand in shaping who we are today. So knowing that and feeling that, you're right, a big part of this show is, man, what are we going to show our kids? What are we going to have them digest because that's essentially going to mold them into who they eventually become.
Yeah.
A lot of the things we watched, I thought was pivotal and helped shape me into what I perceive as being a good dude.
Yeah, yeah, man.
But
No,
looking back on a lot of that stuff, my child ain't touching some of that stuff.
But no, I think, man, we, for better or for worse, these characters, this media, it affects us. It affects who we are. I can't tell you how many times where I've watched something where some feel-good stuff, and I want to go out there and I want to do good. One of my favorite superheroes is Peter Parker, and I just think there's lessons to be learned from Spider-Man. I think there's lessons to be learned from Hey Arnold.
Yes.
You know, kids need to be more like Hey Arnold. You know,
Yes.
Even Charlie Brown, there's lessons there that like are valuable to kids. Mr. Rogers, there, you know, there's a whole bunch of lessons there that you shouldn't let the TV raise your kids, but it should be important on what they digest and what they're taking in, because it can affect their outlook on things and maybe how they feel about certain groups, certain people, and circumstances.
So, if you are interested in pop culture, if you are interested in looking back on some of the things that help make you who you are, or if you're like, man, should I really show this to my kids? Did this age well? Which is going to be something we say quite often. This is definitely the show for you. We're going to look back on some old things, whether it be music, TV shows, movies, video games, comic books, all that stuff that really helped make us who we are, and talk through and see, you know, is this going to be something for a little man or for baby girl? Like, are we going to really help mold this? And if we are, how are we going to introduce it to them? When are we going to introduce it to them? It's going to be a really sad day when I show my son Batman the Animated Series and he's like, nah, Dad, I ain't feeling this. Because he will no longer be my son. So, like, it's not just important that we're going to show it to them, but how are we going to show it to them? When are we going to show it to them? So that's what I'm excited about.
And one thing I think I want to say real quick, and I think we're a different generation, like being millennials. Like, our parents didn't. There were some things that we watched as a family. Like I said, like The Simpsons, Martin Living Single, New York Undercover,
Family Matters.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's things that my parents were into, but for the most part, that was it.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with the way animation's going and I feel like there's going to be things that I'm going to watch with my kid as they're happening in real time and as these shows are airing. And I think we're the kind of first generation that a larger population of us are going to be doing that with our kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna be consuming media with our kids at the same time. Like, we're gonna go buy Nintendo Switches, not just for them, because we want to play Smash Brothers. You know,
there's gonna be a lot of households, and I think our generation is gonna be the ones where there is an adult PlayStation and there's a kid PlayStation. And I'll be damned if you touch my PlayStation.
Go get Spider-Man. No, that's Dad's.
That's Dad's Spider-Man.
You can't touch that shit. Nice. Well, real quick, TJ, that was the kid from Smart Guy. That was his name.
TJ. What was his last name?
Henderson.
TJ Henderson.
You know that show took place in DC?
I did not know that.
It did, yeah. DC. But you want to tell everyone where they can find?
Yes, in all media, we are at Pop Cult Parent. POPCULTPARENT at gmail.com. That's our email. You can find us on Instagram at Pop Cult Parent. You can find us on Twitter at Pop Cult Parent. Pretty much Google Pop Cult Parent and you will find us there.
All right, and we'll see you guys later with some good shows.
Peace.
TJ Henderson, super intelligent, a fine young gentleman, a 10-year-old whiz kid, busting high school, a pugnacious little shorty with 1,000 IQ. He's got away with the ladies and he's keeping it real. Your favorite little study buddy, he knows the deal. Daddy's still just a kid, on the ball, very clever. You could say that he's bright, brainy, gifted, whatever.
Your brother is smart.
He's